For WOD 3, all judges will only be counting the first part of WOD 3, which is the chipper. Judges don't have to worry about the row whatsoever. They only count for their team at the chipper. So they'll be standing with their team with the score sheet. Each team will have their own section of the rig and their own equipment, and it'll be really obvious on the day what equipment your team has. And then as they do their reps, you just count their reps. Just like all the other WODs, there's no need to no-rep anybody. If you think that they're not doing the reps properly, put your hand up, the head judge will come over and they will no-rep if need be. So you'll have 4 team members. One person will be on the rower at all times, and they can rotate in whatever order they like, do however many reps they like of each movement. There's no penalties or no rules around that, so you're literally just going to count every single rep that they do. So, for example, the dumbbell snatches, when it starts on the floor and they get it above their head, that's 1 rep, they'll swap hands. That's 2 reps, and you just keep counting until they've done 75 dumbbell snatches. Then they go onto their toes to bar. As soon as their feet touch the bar at the top, that's a rep. That's 2. That's 3. Keep going until they've done 75. Remember that the athletes will be rotating and sharing the workload. They'll then go to their box jumps. At this station, make sure that male athletes have the box flipped to 24 inches. So that if the male athletes forget and start jumping on a 20-inch box, stop them and remind them to flip the box up to 24 inches. The athlete jumps off 2 feet, lands on 2 feet. When they get on top of the box and open up, you count their reps. If you don't think they're jumping off 2 feet or you don't think they're opening their hips, you put your hand up and the head judge will come and do the no repping, but you just keep counting. When they've done their 75 box jumps, they'll move on to pull-ups. When they get their chin over the bar, that's when you count their rep. If you think they're not getting their chin over the bar or they're not starting with their arms straight, put your hand up, the head judge will come over and have a look for you. When they finish the workout, you get their time, that's on the clock, and write it on the score sheet. If they get cut off, then you write down the bottom total number of reps they completed before the cutoff. Let's have a look at how to scale or how to count the scaling options for WOD 3 Part A. For the dumbbell snatch, if an athlete is scaling the weight on the dumbbell snatch, there will be a box at the top of the score sheet that will say scaling dumbbell snatch. And if they are scaling that dumbbell snatch, then you tick the box. For all the other scaling options, you don't need to worry about ticking any box. The only important one is the dumbbell snatch. If they do scale the dumbbell snatch, they're ranked below any other team that went RXD on the dumbbell snatch. So, let's say this is a lighter weight for the dumbbell snatch. They start snatching and you just count their reps. That's 1, they swap hands, that's 2, and you just continue counting each rep of dumbbell snatch, even if it's scaled. Just make sure that you've ticked that box at the top of the score sheet that says they scaled dumbbell snatch. Once they've completed the dumbbell snatch and they move on to toes to bar, if an athlete is scaling the toes to bar, then every 3 reps of sit-up will be the equivalent of 1 rep. So when they do 3 reps, that's 1. So you might choose to put a tally down every time they do 3 reps. That's 2. You might choose to put your second tally, or you might write the number 1, then the number 2. You just have to make sure that every 3rd rep of sit-up counts as 1. Okay, so 3 reps counts as 1 rep. Once you've done your 75 toes to bar, then you'll move on to box jumps. To scale the box jumps, you'll do 3 step-ups. That's 1, so that would count as 1 rep. You write a tally or the number 1, they go again, do another 3 step-ups. That's 2, so they've done 2. Once they've done 75 reps of their box jumps, then they'll move on to pull-ups. If they're scaling the pull-ups, the scaling option is 3 ball slams for every 1 rep of pull-ups. They have to catch the ball, that's 1, that's 2. 3 reps of ball slam is 1 rep of pull-up, so that's 1 rep that you write down in the pull-up section. They continue. That's 2 reps of pull-ups. Cool, and then once they've finished 75 pull-ups, like I said, you get their time. If they get cut off, you write down their total reps. If you're unsure about how to count the scaling option on the day, make sure you talk to a head judge before your heat starts. Athletes are allowed to do a combination of the RXD movement and a scaling option, and if someone on your team is scaling the movement, that doesn't mean that everybody else has to scale. So for example, one athlete might do some pull-ups and then jump off the pull-up bar and do some ball slams. Or they might do some pull-ups, jump off the bar, tag their teammate who will then do ball slams. That's perfectly fine. Here's an example of how to count in that scenario. We're at the pull-ups now. This athlete is doing some pull-ups. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. They've decided they want to do some ball slams now. That's 5. That's 6. And that is how you would count the reps if people are doing a combination of RHC movements and scaling options.